Have you ever felt like no matter how hard you try, life just isn't giving you what you want? You plan, you strive, you visualize, and yet, the results never match your effort. It's like running in place while everyone else moves ahead effortlessly. You wonder if success, abundance, or happiness is only for other people, while you're stuck in this invisible struggle. Sometimes, it feels like the universe is ignoring you. Every door you knock on stays closed. Every opportunity seems just out of reach. And the more you chase, the faster it slips away. You start asking yourself questions you never thought you'd ask. Am I doing something wrong? Is there a secret I don't know? Or is life simply against me? The feeling can be overwhelming. You feel restless, frustrated, even desperate at times. Your mind races with plans and strategies, but somehow, nothing seems to work. And that tight, anxious feeling in your chest, the one that wakes you up in the middle of the night, what if it's not just stress or worry? What if it's your subconscious trying to tell you something profound, something you've been missing all along? Because here's the truth most people never realize: the reason you haven't manifested your desires yet isn't because you're lacking effort, talent, or even luck. It's not because the universe is punishing you. It's because the method most people use is fundamentally wrong, and they don't even know it. You see, you've been taught to think in terms of trying harder, planning more, or controlling outcomes. But manifestation isn't about effort, it's about alignment. It's about understanding a principle so simple yet so powerful that, once you grasp it, it can change everything. And here's the secret: there is a method that works in just 4 minutes. 4 minutes a day, applied correctly, can start shifting your reality toward the life you've been longing for. Right now, you might feel skeptical. That's natural. But deep down, part of you already knows it's possible. Part of you has always known there's a way to tap into life's unseen forces, something beyond struggle, beyond trying, beyond waiting. And that's exactly what we're going to explore. There is nothing wrong with you. You are not broken. You are not flawed. And yet, for years, you may have believed that the universe simply doesn't favor you, or that life only rewards certain people while leaving you behind. That belief is not your fault. It is the result of conditioning, patterns, and misunderstandings you absorbed long before you even realized it. From childhood, most of us are taught to struggle against life, to push harder, and to believe that effort alone will bring results. Work hard, study more, sacrifice, and eventually you'll get what you want, they say. And yet, somehow, those promises rarely match reality. You may have followed the rules, adhered to society's blueprint, and still found yourself frustrated, anxious, or stuck. That is not a sign of failure, it is a sign that the method you were using is misaligned with a deeper universal principle. Think about it for a moment: every skill you've ever mastered, every success you've ever achieved, started with understanding a law or a principle that works, rather than struggling blindly. Your subconscious mind, the part of you that truly drives your thoughts, feelings, and actions, has been waiting patiently for you to understand it. But most people ignore it. They focus on willpower, logic, or brute force, and wonder why manifestation feels so difficult. You see, your subconscious mind is a faithful servant. It does not judge. It does not critique. It only follows instructions, the instructions you feed it through repeated thoughts, emotions, and beliefs. The problem is, most of us are giving it conflicting, unclear, or even negative instructions. You tell yourself you want abundance, but your feelings betray doubt. You ask for love, but your inner voice whispers insecurity. You seek health, but your thoughts dwell on sickness. And yet, despite all of this, your subconscious continues to respond, not to your words, but to your dominant feeling. This is why effort alone never works. Effort without alignment is like rowing a boat upstream while your subconscious quietly drifts in another direction. The tension you feel, the frustration, the sense of spinning your wheels, it's not personal. It's simply a reflection of misalignment, nothing more. Here's another truth that's comforting to remember: even when you've failed before, even when nothing seems to work, your subconscious does not hold grudges. It does not punish you for misunderstanding the law. In fact, it is ready, right now, to receive a clear, simple, and emotionally charged instruction. And when it receives that instruction, it moves effortlessly to bring your desires into reality. That is what makes this method revolutionary and why it is accessible to everyone, regardless of your past experiences. You do not need to earn your desires. You do not need to struggle, manipulate, or coerce life into giving you what you want. You simply need to align your mind with the law that always works, and then allow it to operate. It is natural to feel doubt or skepticism at this point. After all, you may have tried manifestation before, or at least, what you believed was manifestation, and it didn't work. That is okay. That doubt is simply a signal that you are about to learn something new, something that clarifies the confusion of the past. Imagine for a moment that your mind is like a garden. For years, you have been planting seeds of fear, limitation, and frustration. No matter how much you water them with effort, they will grow into weeds. But the soil itself is rich, fertile, and capable of supporting the most beautiful life you can imagine. When you plant the right seeds, the seeds of desire already fulfilled, of certainty, of faith, your subconscious takes care of the rest. It nourishes them, grows them, and brings them to fruition naturally. And here is the most important part: you don't have to understand every mechanism. You don't need complicated rituals, endless techniques, or hours of effort. Your subconscious knows what to do when it receives clear, confident instructions delivered with emotion and belief. That is all the law requires. So, if you have felt stuck, frustrated, or powerless until now, know this: it is not a reflection of who you are or what you deserve. It is a reflection of method. You have been trying to manifest from the wrong level of consciousness. You have been trying to push reality from effort alone, instead of allowing your subconscious to work on your behalf. This is where hope enters. Not a fleeting, wishful hope, but a deep, calm, knowing hope that the moment you understand the correct method, the law responds. The universe is not against you. Life is not withholding. Your desires are not unreachable. They are simply waiting for you to align fully, to give your subconscious a clear, emotionally charged instruction, and then step back with trust. Once you realize this, resistance falls away. Anxiety softens. The fear of never having what you want begins to dissolve. You start to feel, even before results appear, a quiet confidence in the process. You begin to sense that life is working with you, not against you, and that everything you've longed for is already moving toward you, quietly and naturally, according to a law that has never failed. This is the first step in your transformation, understanding that it's not your fault, and that you are ready to work with a law that aligns with your subconscious, rather than against it. You are not broken, and your desires are not out of reach. They are closer than you think, if only you know the right way to connect with the one part of your mind that can make them real. Most people think manifestation is about effort. They believe that if they want something badly enough, work hard enough, visualize enough, and chase it relentlessly, life will finally deliver. But this belief is one of the biggest traps that keeps desires just out of reach. Think about it: how many times have you wanted something desperately, spent days, weeks, or even months working toward it, only to find that it still doesn't happen? You push, struggle, and stress, believing that the more you try, the closer you get. But instead of progress, you feel frustration, exhaustion, and doubt creeping in. You may have even blamed yourself: I must not be good enough, I'm not capable, or others have it easier than me. Here's the subtle problem most people never notice: they are working against the very force that could bring their desires to life. Effort alone cannot manifest anything. Trying harder without alignment is like rowing a boat in the wrong direction. You're expending energy, yet the current keeps pushing you away from your goal. People also make the mistake of relying purely on visualization or affirmations, repeating words mechanically without feeling them. They think that saying, "I am wealthy," or "I am happy," is enough. But the subconscious does not respond to words alone. It responds to emotion, feeling, and belief. Without that emotional alignment, words become empty noise, and the subconscious simply ignores them. Another mistake is impatience. Life doesn't respond to pressure. It responds to certainty. Most people treat manifestation like a transaction: I'll do this, I'll get that. And when the result doesn't come instantly, they assume the method doesn't work. They give up, restart, or try something else, never realizing that the subconscious operates on its own schedule, always delivering what you desire, but only when your inner state is aligned and unwavering. Then there is the trap of focusing on lack. You see it all the time. People fixate on what they don't have, repeating thoughts like, I don't have enough money, or, I'm not in the relationship I want. Every thought of lack is a clear instruction to the subconscious, and the subconscious faithfully obeys. The result? More lack. This is a paradox most people never recognize. They are literally programming the reality they claim to want to escape. Finally, there's confusion about method. Some follow complicated rituals, long manifestation protocols, or countless steps from self-help books, believing that quantity equals results. The subconscious is not impressed by quantity, it responds to clarity and certainty. Simplicity, aligned with emotion, is far more powerful than hours of effort and repetition done mechanically. What does all this mean for you? It means that the struggles, the failed attempts, and the frustration you've experienced are not a reflection of your worth or capability. They are a reflection of method. You've been doing the right thing, wrong. You've been giving the subconscious unclear, inconsistent, or conflicted instructions, and expecting results anyway. This is why so many desires never manifest, despite your effort, your hope, and your persistence. Most people try harder, chase longer, and think that willpower is the key, when in fact, the subconscious mind, the very part of you capable of manifesting anything, is being ignored or misdirected. The shift you need is subtle but profound. It's not about effort. It's about alignment, certainty, and the correct use of the subconscious mind. Once you understand this, manifestation stops being a struggle and becomes a natural process, as effortless as breathing. And this is exactly where Joseph Murphy's 4-minute method comes in. It's not complicated. It doesn't require long rituals, endless repetitions, or brute force effort. Instead, it teaches you how to speak directly to the subconscious, with clarity, feeling, and belief. It shows you how to give your subconscious instructions that it will obey effortlessly, predictably, and reliably. In fact, the beauty of this method lies in its simplicity. Most people overlook it because it seems almost too easy. But the subconscious does not respond to difficulty. It responds to certainty. The moment you learn how to give it precise, emotionally charged instructions, your desires begin to flow naturally, and this can happen in as little as 4 minutes a day. Up until now, you may have been trying to push reality from the outside, with effort and planning. But the secret is to work from the inside out, giving your subconscious clear instructions and trusting it to do the rest. The struggle falls away, the tension dissolves, and life begins to move in ways you may have thought impossible. So if manifestation has felt frustrating, slow, or confusing until now, take heart. The problem was never you. It was the method. And once you align correctly, your desires don't just become possible, they become inevitable. At the heart of manifestation lies a simple, yet profound principle: your subconscious mind is a faithful servant that responds to your dominant thoughts, feelings, and beliefs. Joseph Murphy, one of the greatest teachers of subconscious law, emphasized that life does not respond to words alone. Life responds to the certainty behind those words, and the emotional energy that accompanies them. Think of your subconscious as a powerful, intelligent partner. It is always listening, always absorbing, and always ready to act, but it cannot distinguish between what you truly desire and what you habitually think or feel. It does not judge, it does not question, it does not procrastinate. Whatever instruction it receives, clear, emotionally charged, and repeated, becomes reality in your life. This law has always existed. It is not a theory, a philosophy, or a hack created for convenience. It is a universal principle, operating quietly and consistently, for everyone, all the time. People who understand it and work in alignment with it succeed effortlessly. People who ignore it, or try to override it with brute force, struggle endlessly. Most people approach life as if their conscious mind, logic, reasoning, and willpower is in charge. They believe effort, planning, and struggle can force reality to conform. But the conscious mind is limited. It can only act within the boundaries of what it knows, what it perceives, and what it thinks is possible. The subconscious, however, is limitless. It can manifest ideas, solutions, opportunities, and circumstances that the conscious mind cannot imagine. Here is the critical insight: manifestation works when the conscious mind gives the subconscious a clear, emotionally charged instruction, and then steps aside. Effort without alignment is wasted energy. Trying harder without emotional certainty is like screaming at the wind, it moves nothing. But when your desire is impressed upon the subconscious with clarity and feeling, it begins to organize circumstances, opportunities, and people to bring that desire into reality. Joseph Murphy often said that thoughts mixed with faith, feeling, and belief are far more powerful than the most meticulous plans or the hardest work. In other words, it is not the number of affirmations, the hours of visualization, or the intensity of effort that matters, it is the quality of alignment and emotional certainty. Consider this: the subconscious cannot distinguish between what is imagined vividly with emotion and what is real. If you can feel your desire as if it is already fulfilled, the subconscious begins to act on that assumption. It adjusts your thoughts, intuition, decisions, and even the way circumstances unfold to match the reality you are holding within. That is why most people fail at manifestation without realizing it. They attempt to attract something while simultaneously harboring doubt, fear, or lack. Their instructions are confused. Their emotional energy is conflicted. And the subconscious, loyal as it is, follows the dominant state, which is fear and resistance rather than desire and certainty. Understanding this law is liberating. Once you know it, you no longer need to struggle, force, or worry. You no longer need to chase opportunities, force outcomes, or exhaust yourself with endless effort. You only need to align your conscious instruction with emotional certainty. The moment you do, the law begins to work on your behalf, silently, efficiently, and consistently. Joseph Murphy's teachings provide the bridge between understanding and action. He distilled this principle into a practical method that anyone can use even in just 4 minutes a day to impress their desires onto the subconscious and start experiencing results almost immediately. This is not magic. It is law. It is reliable. And it is available to you, right now, once you are willing to align correctly. The beauty of this principle is its universality. It applies to health, wealth, relationships, career, personal growth, anything you desire. It is not selective or biased. It responds equally to everyone. The only difference between those who succeed and those who struggle is whether they have learned to speak to their subconscious with clarity and belief. This is the foundation of the 4-minute method. Before we get to the step-by-step instructions, it is essential to understand that manifestation is not about trying harder, doing more, or controlling outcomes. It is about understanding the law and allowing it to work through your subconscious. Once this principle is internalized, the method becomes effortless, natural, and profoundly effective. Now that you understand the hidden law that governs manifestation, the next step is to see how it can be applied in real life, in a way that transforms your results dramatically and consistently. This is where the 4-minute method comes into play, a method so simple, so direct, and so aligned with this law that it can create noticeable shifts almost immediately. The secret of manifestation is not in struggle, effort, or endless visualization. The secret lies in a precise alignment between your conscious desire and your subconscious mind. Joseph Murphy taught that the subconscious is a faithful servant. It does not question, it does not judge, and it does not delay. It simply acts on the instructions it receives, with the emotion and certainty behind them as the guiding force. When your desire is impressed upon it with clarity, conviction, and feeling, it begins to organize circumstances, ideas, and people to bring that desire into reality. This is where the 4-minute method comes in. It is a simple, practical technique that allows you to communicate directly with your subconscious in a way that is clear, emotionally charged, and aligned with your desire. It does not require long hours, complicated rituals, or repeated effort over weeks. In just 4 minutes, when applied correctly, it can set your subconscious into motion, creating shifts that ripple outward into your reality. The method is straightforward. First, find a quiet place where you will not be disturbed. Sit comfortably, close your eyes, and relax your body. Take deep, slow breaths, letting your muscles release tension and your mind settle. This moment of calm is crucial because the subconscious responds best when the conscious mind is quiet and the body is relaxed. Tension, worry, or distraction will dilute the effectiveness of the method. Next, bring your desire into focus. Do not think in terms of wanting or needing. Instead, experience it as if it is already fulfilled. Imagine the scenario vividly. Feel the satisfaction, joy, gratitude, and relief that comes with having your desire realized. The subconscious does not respond to hypothetical or wishful thinking, it responds to living, felt experience. By feeling your desire is real, you are planting a seed that your subconscious will nurture and bring into your life. Once you have the feeling firmly in your mind and heart, repeat a short, affirmative statement that encapsulates your desire. Keep it simple and direct. For example, I am so happy and grateful now that my desire is mine. Speak it with conviction, fully believing each word. Let the emotion behind it permeate your entire being. The repetition for exactly 4 minutes is key. It is long enough to impress the subconscious but brief enough to maintain clarity, focus, and emotional intensity. After the 4 minutes, release your desire. Do not force it. Do not overthink it. Trust that your subconscious has received the instruction and will now work quietly and efficiently to align your external circumstances with it. Continue with your day as usual, free from doubt or worry. The power of the method lies in its combination of focus, feeling, and surrender. Trying to control the outcome beyond this point interferes with the subconscious and weakens the law in action. Consistency matters, but perfection does not. Daily practice strengthens the alignment between your conscious intention and your subconscious instruction. Even when you forget or feel distracted, the moments you do practice correctly reinforce the pattern of belief and expectation that your subconscious requires. Over time, as this alignment deepens, you will notice subtle shifts, unexpected opportunities, intuitive ideas, and a sense that life is responding in ways you could not orchestrate consciously. The beauty of this method is that it works for every area of life. Financial abundance, meaningful relationships, health improvements, career opportunities, and personal growth can all be influenced by this simple, 4-minute alignment. What makes it so remarkable is its simplicity. Most people fail not because they are incapable, but because they attempt manifestation in ways that are complicated, inconsistent, or emotionally disconnected. This method removes those barriers entirely. As you practice, you will begin to feel a quiet confidence within yourself. You are no longer pleading with life, chasing results, or doubting your ability. Instead, you are working with the natural law of the subconscious, allowing it to orchestrate your reality in accordance with your inner state. The moment you fully internalize this principle, the tension and struggle that once accompanied desire vanish. You are no longer a bystander hoping for life to comply, you are a conscious participant, aligned with the law that always works. In essence, the 4-minute method is a bridge between thought and reality, between desire and manifestation. It transforms longing into lived experience within your subconscious, which then naturally manifests outwardly. It is not about luck, effort, or timing. It is about clarity, emotional certainty, and trust. This is why, when applied correctly, it can produce results in days, weeks, or months, not years. Now that you understand how it works, the next step is to see it in action through real-life examples. People who have applied this method consistently have experienced shifts that are undeniable. Opportunities arise, relationships change, financial circumstances improve, and inner confidence grows. These results are not random, they are the predictable outcome of a law that has never failed, applied with clarity, focus, and feeling. Real-life proof is what transforms understanding into belief. Theory alone can feel abstract, distant, or even doubtful. That is why seeing how others have applied the 4-minute method successfully makes the law tangible and credible. Let me share a few stories that illustrate how this simple, 4-minute practice can create remarkable results. The first story is about a man named Daniel. Daniel had been struggling for years in his career. Despite hard work, long hours, and countless efforts to improve his skills, he felt stuck in a job that offered little satisfaction and almost no growth. He discovered the 4-minute method and decided to try it daily, focusing on the desire to find a role that aligned with his talents and passion. Each morning, he would sit quietly, breathe deeply, and repeat his affirmation with feeling, "I am so happy and grateful now that I have the perfect job that fulfills me completely." He visualized himself in that role, feeling the excitement and pride as though it had already happened. Within 3 weeks, an unexpected opportunity appeared through a casual connection. What started as a quiet, internal alignment quickly unfolded into a real job offer, exactly the role he had been longing for. The 4-minute practice had shifted his subconscious beliefs, and his outer reality followed. The second story involves Maria, who struggled with health challenges and low energy. She had tried every diet, exercise program, and motivational routine, yet nothing seemed sustainable. A friend introduced her to the 4-minute method. Maria began using it to focus on feeling vibrant, healthy, and full of energy. Instead of fixating on the problem, she concentrated on the sensation of vitality as if she already possessed it. Every evening, she would spend 4 minutes in this focused state, repeating her affirmation with gratitude: "I am so happy and grateful now that my body is healthy, strong, and full of energy." Within a few weeks, she noticed subtle shifts: her energy improved, cravings diminished, and her motivation to move and nourish her body increased naturally. The method did not force changes externally, it worked through her subconscious to reshape habits, perceptions, and internal energy, producing real, measurable results. The third story is about James, who desired financial abundance but had struggled with debt and scarcity thinking for years. He had followed conventional advice, worked extra hours, and tried numerous money strategies, yet progress was slow. When he learned the 4-minute method, he committed to practicing it daily, feeling grateful for the financial flow as if it had already arrived. His affirmation was simple: "I am so happy and grateful now that money flows easily and abundantly into my life." Within a month, opportunities he had not considered before appeared: new freelance clients, unexpected bonuses, and helpful connections. What amazed him most was that the results seemed effortless, appearing naturally, without forcing or overanalyzing. The method had changed the lens through which he viewed money, opening him to possibilities he could not have created through effort alone. These stories share a common thread. Each individual applied the 4-minute method with clarity, focus, and emotional intensity. They did not obsess over outcomes, struggle for results, or try to force life into submission. They simply aligned their conscious desire with the subconscious mind, repeated affirmations infused with feeling, and trusted the law to act. In every case, life responded in ways that were measurable, meaningful, and aligned with their desires. It is important to note that the method works for everyone, regardless of background, circumstance, or past failures. The law of the subconscious does not discriminate. It responds to the clarity of your instruction and the strength of your feeling. Whether you seek career growth, improved health, financial abundance, love, or personal growth, the principle remains the same. The 4-minute method is a tool for directing the infinite power of the subconscious with precision. Even subtle applications can produce noticeable results. Small adjustments in feeling, focus, and affirmation consistency often lead to larger, more profound shifts over time. The subconscious mind does not distinguish between minor or major desires, it simply acts on the emotional reality you present. This is why stories of transformation appear across all areas of life, from relationships to career, health, finances, and personal growth. As you reflect on these stories, it is natural to feel a mixture of hope and skepticism. That is human. But consider this: the law that produced these results has never failed, and it is accessible to anyone willing to follow a clear, emotionally aligned method. The 4-minute practice is not a theory or wishful thinking. It is a direct, actionable application of a principle that has shaped lives for generations. When you are ready to try it yourself, remember that the stories are not just proof, they are guidance. They demonstrate that small, consistent alignment with your subconscious can create extraordinary changes. You do not need complicated rituals, luck, or effort beyond the 4 minutes of focused practice. You simply need clarity, belief, and feeling, repeated consistently. This is the essence of manifestation according to Joseph Murphy. The subconscious mind is always working, and when you give it the right instructions, your desires become inevitable. Now that you understand the law, the method, and the proof, it's time to bring it into your life. The 4-minute practice is simple, yet its effectiveness depends on your ability to apply it consistently and with clarity. Begin by finding a quiet, undisturbed space. Sit comfortably and close your eyes. Take 3 deep, slow breaths, allowing tension to leave your body. Feel your mind settle, your heartbeat slow, and your awareness turn inward. This is the moment to step out of distraction and into alignment. Next, focus on your desire as if it is already fulfilled. Avoid thinking in terms of wanting or needing. The subconscious does not respond to lack, it responds to certainty and feeling. Visualize the situation vividly. See the details, hear the sounds, notice the sensations, and feel the emotions that naturally arise when your desire is realized. If your desire is financial, feel the security, freedom, and relief. If it is a relationship, feel the warmth, connection, and joy. If it is health or personal growth, feel the strength, energy, and confidence coursing through you. The more vivid and emotionally alive the experience, the stronger the instruction to your subconscious. Then, repeat a short affirmation that encapsulates your desire. Keep it simple, direct, and emotionally charged. Speak it internally or softly aloud. I am so happy and grateful now that my desire is mine. Let the emotion behind your words fill your being. Maintain this focus for exactly 4 minutes. This period is long enough to impress the subconscious clearly, yet short enough to hold your attention and emotional intensity. Avoid overthinking. The goal is alignment, not effort. Once the 4 minutes are complete, release your desire with trust. Do not attempt to control the outcome, analyze the process, or force results. The subconscious will now organize circumstances, opportunities, and intuitive insights to bring your desire into reality. Continue your day with confidence, knowing that your instruction has been received. This practice is most effective when done daily, ideally at the same time, creating a pattern of alignment that your subconscious begins to recognize and respond to automatically. Integration of this method transforms more than your external reality, it reshapes your inner identity. As you practice, notice how your thoughts shift, your confidence grows, and your sense of self strengthens. You are no longer someone chasing life or pleading for results. You are someone who commands from certainty, who understands the laws that govern existence, and who works in harmony with the natural flow of life. Every step you take, every decision you make, begins to reflect this inner alignment. This shift in identity is the ultimate payoff of the practice. You are not merely seeking results, you are becoming the kind of person who naturally attracts those results. Your actions, emotions, and thoughts align with your desires before they manifest externally. You are no longer a participant waiting for life to respond, you are an active creator, consciously co-authoring your reality. Remember, practical application is not about perfection. You do not need flawless focus, constant clarity, or extraordinary discipline. You only need consistent practice, emotional alignment, and trust. Even when distractions arise, even when doubt appears, return gently to your 4-minute practice. Over time, this small, consistent effort compounds into profound shifts in reality and perception. Ultimately, the 4-minute method is a tool for empowerment. It teaches you that the universe is not something to struggle against. It is a responsive, intelligent force that acts on your subconscious instructions. Your desires are not random. They are waiting to align with the clarity, belief, and emotional certainty that you provide. This knowledge changes everything. It gives you control without forcing, power without struggle, and peace in knowing that your life is guided by a law that never fails. You are no longer someone hoping for life to change. You are someone who knows life responds to your inner state, someone who speaks with authority from certainty, and someone who embodies the law of subconscious alignment. Your 4 minutes a day are more than a practice, they are a declaration of your ability to create, manifest, and become. Step into this reality, and notice how life begins to respond in ways you once thought impossible. You are not waiting. You are not wishing. You are aligned. And in that alignment, everything you desire begins to flow effortlessly toward you.